Hi.
Hi there, how's it going?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking, but how can I help you?
Well, it is not a big deal. I just need you and your family to visit this house right now.
Seriously? Okay. For real, how can I help you? Seriously?
Alright, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to pack what you want with you to visit this house right now.
Excuse me, sir. This is my house. I'm not living it.
Well, let's see. If you resist to visit this house, I'm gonna beat you first. Then I'm gonna arrest you. But if you fight back, I'm gonna shoot you with my friends here.
Alright then, but where are we supposed to go?
This is not our problem. Just go what you want to go. Alright, 2 minutes have left. Just need to go right now.
The situation just now is happening right now in Palestine, specifically in Sheikh Jarrah, inside of Jerusalem. If I don't steal your home, someone else will steal it, was an answer given by an Israeli storyteller to Mona Al-Qud, a young Palestinian woman who accused him for stealing her home in Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in occupied East Jerusalem. In recent months, the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood saw a series of sit-ins by Palestinians to protest against the Israeli order for them to vacate their homes, which they described as the continuation of the ethnic cleansing that began since Nakba in 1948. Dozens of Palestinians are facing immediate dispossession from their homes in the occupied Jerusalem neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah, in what they say is a move to force them out and replace it entirely with a Jewish settlement. The Jerusalem District Court ruled at least 6 families must vacate their homes in Sheikh Jarrah on Sunday, despite living there for generations. The same court also ruled 7 other families should leave their home by August 1. In total, 58 people, including 17 children, are said to be forcibly displaced to make way for Jewish settlers. While in Bita, a village south of Nablus in the occupied West Bank, Palestinians have protested settler theft since May. All settlements are illegal under international law, but this settlement is illegal even under Israeli law because it was built without official permission. But that didn't stop Israeli soldiers from helping to build this illegal settlement. Every week, Palestinians in Bita demonstrate against the settlement built on their land. Israeli soldiers respond with deadly fire. Because of that, Israeli forces have killed at least 5 Palestinians protesting settler theft in Bita. Bita is not alone struggling against Israeli settlements. There are 675,000 Israeli settlers living on the Palestinian land throughout occupied East Jerusalem and West Bank. Settler violence and land encroachment is a daily reality of these Palestinians. Bita shows what Israeli apartheid in the West Bank looks like. Settlers steal Palestinian land even without government permission, and then soldiers kill Palestinians for protesting.
We just watched a video which described what is exactly happened between Israel and Palestine, and now I will briefly explain about it based on the truth of the history. This story started in 1870, where there is a group called as Lovers of Zion or Zionism. This group have one ideology, which is Jews should get their separate country. This ideology keep propagating until 1881, where there is the first large-scale migration of Jews was seen in the Palestine area. They do the settlements permanently and started living there with the permission of Palestine people. Why the Jews choose Palestine? Alright, for Jews, Jerusalem is the holiest place for Jews, and at that time there is no Israel, no Gaza, and no West Bank. It is only one Palestine as the whole country. At the time, they live under the Ottoman Empire, and Christian, Muslim, and Jews live peacefully together. Around 1915 and 1970s, the First World War and the Palestine nightmare was began. The Ottoman Empire fell after the First World War. British forces conquered Palestine by ending 1,400 years of Islamic rule over the region. Before the British invaded Palestine, Jews made up only around 6% of the total population. around 1948, the first Arab and Israel war was occurred. Israel won the war, and the Zionist military expelled almost 750,000 of the Palestinians and captured almost 78% of historic Palestine. The second Arab in Israel war was occurred in 1967, where the Israel won the war again, which resulted in Israel occupied all of historic Palestine and expelled a further of 300,000 Palestinians from their homes. The third Arab in Israel war was occurred in 1973, where the Israel won the war again, but this time no major changing or no major effect from the war. As you can see in the map, after the Second World War, the area of Gaza, which is at the left, and West Bank at the right, was being under the Israel control. And in 1995, the West Bank area has been divided into three areas, which is Area A, Area B, and Area C, where the Area A is under Palestine government control, while Area B is both government is control the area, and C is under the Israeli government control. So this is the situation from 1995 until now, where is most of the area is being controlled by the Israel. So I think that's all based on the true history of the what actually happened between Israel and Palestine.
Words matter, and the media knows about it. That is why they use specific word when it's come to covering Palestine versus specific word when they talk about Israel, and even John Oliver knows about it.
Since Monday, over 80 Palestinians have been killed and 7 Israelis in this tit-for-tat war.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there, from the horror of the situation, which has escalated significantly since then, to the use of the phrase tit-for-tat war in a conflict where you just pointed out one side has suffered over 10 times the casualties. Something which speaks to both the severe power imbalance at play here and how that often gets obscured by how we choose to talk about it. Take, for instance, one of the incidents that's been a flashpoint: the planned expulsion of Palestinians who've lived in the Sheikh Jarrah neighbourhood for generations. It's currently tied up in the Israeli court system, with the foreign ministry calling it a real estate dispute. But it's worth knowing that the UN's Commissioner for Human Rights has said that these expulsions would violate Israel's obligations under international law. So it is not hard to see why sanitised terms like evictions or property disputes rankle those who live there.
And just as a plus, here are some other examples of the media getting on when asking questions about Palestine.
Do you support the protests, the violent protests that have erupted, in solidarity with you and other families in your position right now?
Do you support the violent dispossession of me and my family?
And finally, this disgusting coverage right here.
12 people, including 61 children, have died in Gaza. 12 people, including 2 children, have been killed in Israel.
Because apparently, Palestinian, we just died. Out of nowhere, I'm just walking one day and that. But Israel, no. They get killed. See, the difference is very poetic. Isn't hundreds of Palestinians just die? Nobody know how. Nobody know why. It is like the dead just fall from the sky, literally. But again, Israel don't just die. They get killed. So the difference is, as you can see, words matter, and it is on us to hold the media accountable for their biased coverage.
Now, what would you do in these situations? This is just one thing that Palestinians are going through. So I just wanted to share this message to the whole world. So what is happening to the Palestinians right